Galbraith's killer was so worried about what was on that footage, they had Eamon killed.
He's been spying on me. I'm not sure for how long.
Bedford knew his wife was having an affair with Galbraith. Well, that's a motive if ever there was one.
Niven Guthrie paid off all your debts a week ago, just before Eamon's accident.
He didn't want it back.
It's my last will and testament.
Do you think Duncan's to blame for what happened to you?
You worried I'm out for revenge, Jimmy?
I don't say anything. It's my career on the line too.
You don't owe Sandy a thing, remember that?
We're a team.
Marianne, nice girl.
She left a message on my machine.
I've made up my mind. I'm going to London.
This was the last photo taken before she went.
And Sister Carolyn?
Thick as thieves they were.
She died, and I helped cover it up. I sent the postcard from London, and I packed up her haversack. It's all my fault.
She's alive. Never did this kind of go far.
I want to die here. They'll think it was me. You'll be fine.
Pick up the mug and put it in the sink. There has to be a reason why your fingerprints are on it. How is she?
She's still in intensive care. They're not hopeful. It's a massive head trauma. And no witnesses either. Whoever did this must have come on foot and doubled back.
Put somebody on the door because she's still in danger. Just before she was attacked, she said that a group of men were celebrating Old New Year on Fettler when Marianne died. Galbraith, Niven Guthrie, and Darren Bedford. So I'm going to need to speak to them.
Yeah, okay, I'll get it sorted.
I just heard about Donna.
I'm so sorry, Meg. She took an overdose.
She didn't die alone, did she?
Duncan found it.
That's not what I asked you.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go. What is it that you're looking for, Dad?
My car keys. I'm going for a drive.
Your car's in Fair Isle.
I'll take your car then.
Look, where is it? Where are you planning to go? Where are you going to go? Do you know what time it is?
No, I don't.
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. It's just, it's late. That's all. What is it that you need? I can drive.
I can't remember now.
Listen about Donna. Don't say it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear another word. If I hear it, then I have to do something about it.
police are here. What do they want?
I don't know.
Aaron Bedford, we'd like you to come with us to help with our inquiries.
About Alex Galbraith?
No, Marianne Ross.
Mr. Guthrie, we'd like you to come with us if you don't mind.
I don't think so. I'm busy.
Well, in that case, I'm going to have to arrest you for obstruction of justice.
Oh my God, the smell of that's making me feel sick. What is in it?
It's ham and mustard. My sister used to be like that with coriander when she was pregnant.
Living in Bedford here yet?
Yeah, they are.
We'll talk to Bedford first, because if they do have anything to hide, he's going to be the weak link.
Old New Year. 21 years ago. Were you on Fettler with Alex Galbraith?
Old New Year.
13th of January.
We did go up there around that time. I'm not sure of the date, though.
And Niven Guthrie was present.
I think Niven was there.
You think?
If it's the same trip we're talking about, then he was.
Do you recognise this girl?
No.
Her name's Marianne Ross. Are you sure you don't remember her?
Look, I wish I could help.
But it's unlikely that I'd have been on Fettler then. I just started working with my father. He was a hard taskmaster.
Darren Bedford says you were there.
I'll just have to take Darren's word for it then.
It's odd that you don't remember. Because, as we understand it, a girl died at a party you attended that night. We even have an eyewitness placing you at the scene.
What eyewitness?
There was a party, but I don't remember anything out of the ordinary happening.
You would have reported it if it had, wouldn't you?
Yes.
So, why do you think Lynn Harrison said that her friend Marianne died at the party?
I have no idea. I don't know who Lynn Harrison is.
Alex Galbraith kept Marianne alive in her father's mind for years. Now, the only reason he would do that is if he was trying to protect someone.
Or himself.
Why would you say that?
Maybe he knew something we didn't. I don't know.
Galbraith was paying for Marianne's dad's care. Any idea why that would be?
Maybe he knew something we didn't.
You don't think it points to a man drowning in guilt?
Does it matter what I think?
You stayed close as friends.
Well, to a certain extent.
Is that because what happened on Fettler bound you together?
I don't remember anything out of the ordinary happening.
Okay. That's the second time you've given the exact same answer as Dr. Bedford. It's almost as if you've been on the phone together rehearsing what you'd say.
Are you aware Lynn Harrison is now lying in intensive care in your hospital?
I'm sorry to hear that, but like I said, I don't know who Lynn Harrison is.
Could you tell us where you were last night?
Last night? How many alibis do you want me to have? I didn't know Marianne, so how would I know her friend?
She's also known as Sister Carolyn.
I still don't know who you're talking about.
When was the last time you and Niven Guthrie spoke?
I don't know. We bump into each other now and then.
Recently?
Not that recent.
Did you take a look at this? It's a list of calls Niven Guthrie made last night. Is that your home number?
What were you talking about so late? Price of fish? Or how to get your stories straight? You better start giving us some answers.
If something happened at that party, I don't know what it was. I swear. I was a lightweight back then. I passed out. I woke up and they all wanted to leave.
So the trip was cut short and you never thought to ask why?
I just wanted to go home. I was ill. I swear that's the truth.
And everyone left at the same time? You, Niven, Galbraith?
And Logan.
Logan Cregan was there.
Thanks. How you doing? They treating you okay?
What is it you want, Perez?
I need to ask you about Marianne Ross. She was at a party on Fetler. Old New Year 2000. She hasn't been seen since. You were also at that party. Do you remember what happened up there?
A bit. I was on leave. Galbraith invited me. I was a bit surprised. Hadn't seen much from him since I joined up. Didn't really fit in with his crowd anymore.
You mean people like Darren Bedford and Niven Guthrie?
Aye. I think I was a bit of an embarrassment to them, to be honest.
So why invite you?
Maybe they needed somebody to do the driving. I went anyway, seeing as they were paying for the booze.
And what about Marianne?
I don't remember her. Or the party. I got tired of the others. They were taking drugs, and stuff. It's not my scene. I remember wandering along the beach, a bit drunk. Some locals had started a big fire out there, so I hung out with them. By the time I got back, they were all packing up to leave.
Nobody mentioned the night before?
There was a bit of an atmosphere. Bedford, he was out of sorts. Bit hyper. Started telling me something and Niven told him to shut up.
You never wondered what he was going to say?
Not really, no. I was deployed to Sierra Leone not long after. Then those planes hit the Twin Towers and the shit hit the fan. I didn't see any of them again for years.
Well, the word is that she died that night while you were partying on the beach. Galbraith had been trying to cover it up ever since.
I swear. If I'd known the girl had died, I would have reported it.
You tell me that's the truth, I'll believe you.
It is. Explains a lot if it's true, though, doesn't it? All of his good deeds. He was just trying to make up for what he did. Seems like that's what we're all trying to do.
Cora.
I've got the autopsy report. Donna died from an overdose, taken orally. But you knew that.
Or anything else?
Oh, it's just so sad when someone takes their own life. Even in these circumstances.
Thanks for doing that so quickly, Cora. I really appreciate it.
Lynn Harrison died half an hour ago.
I heard you found the body.
I really don't want to talk.
I bet you don't.
What's that supposed to mean?
I know what happened. You let her off the hook, Duncan. She should have suffered. Being terrified, scared, and begging for help like Lizzie.
What good would that have done? Let it go.
Oh, no, I can't. She had too many people. You'll get away with it, won't you?
Lynn Harrison died 40 minutes ago. This is your last chance. Tell me what happened on Fettler.
I don't know what happened.
Yes, you do. You wanted to tell Cregan the morning after. You were eaten up with guilt. You wanted to report it. But what they stopped you, is that what happened?
You weren't calling the shots that night, Darren. We know that. But you will take equal blame.
You happy going to jail for somebody else? You'll never practice medicine again.
I did nothing wrong. I was just trying to protect a friend.
Protect who? From what?
Marianne died after taking drugs. Drugs Galbraith and Niven gave her. They brought all kinds of stuff. Ecstasy, coke, I don't know. Galbraith was egging on everyone to take some. She began to have respiratory problems. She fell asleep on the sofa. In the morning, I couldn't wake her. I should have called the police. I wanted to. The others said that they'd be held culpable for her death and their careers would be over.
They covered up the death of a girl to save their careers. And you just went along with it.
I didn't want to see their lives ruined. Or mine. They buried the body. I don't know where. I refused to take part in that.
You think that makes it okay?
No, I don't mean that. I meant we just switched off. You can judge if you like, but do you have any idea how many lives I went on to save?
Now, Galbraith struggled with this, like you, didn't he? Is that why he was killed? Was he going to confess?
I don't know. I had nothing to do with that.
Get up. We're going for a drive.
Is this a magical mystery tour then, eh?
Did you ever tell your father what happened up there?
There wasn't anything to tell.
Must have been tempted though, eh? Could have used his contacts to help you out.
Then you obviously didn't know my old man. He never helped anyone but himself.
Oh, I get it. He already had a low opinion of you. Then that would have been the final nail in the coffin. You'd never get the company then. Your wee brother would. Well, best just cover it up.
Yeah, it's not a great feeling. Being a disappointment to your father, but I really did not have anything to hide. And I'm not someone who likes to dwell in the past.
That much is obvious.
we doing, Perez?
Show me where you buried Marianne. Bedford told me everything. And now I'm giving you the opportunity to show that young woman some respect and tell me where she is. Take it.
It was Galbraith's idea. He knew the girl that had an argument with her dad. She told us all about how bored she was, how she wanted to leave, but how she felt guilty about it. He said if she went missing, people would think she'd just run off.
Just tell me where she is.
Come on, she was dead. What difference did it make? Well, we were supposed to lose everything because of a stupid accident.
You left her up here for 20 years like she never existed. Her father should have been allowed to mourn her.
What we did was wrong, okay? We've had to live with it our entire lives. But we agreed we'd do our damnedest to make up for it. And we did. I've used all the money I earned to help people get a foot on the ladder. Galbraith did the same. Bedford's in that hospital night and day.
That doesn't change what you did.
We've contributed to these islands. Don't deserve to be remembered for this.
Where is she?
I don't deserve to be remembered for this.
I'm asking you a question.
Come on, man. You would have done the same in the circumstances.
Just tell me where Marianne is!
You're standing on it.
Tosh, we're going to need a forensics team on Fettler. I've found Marianne.
Right, okay. I'll get them up there as soon as possible. They found her. You need to tell them what you did and why. There'll be so much worse coming from me.
I know. Stand up. Get up. We're charging you with unlawful burial. It comes with a maximum sentence of 10 years.
Once we have an autopsy on Marianne Ross's body, we'll know whether or not to add murder to those charges.
For 20 years, you both knew there was a body buried up there, and yet you agreed to say nothing. Silence is golden, right?
But then someone threatened to talk. Galbraith. So you killed him.
No, that's not true. I have an alibi, you know that.
Your brother could be lying, protecting you and the company. A bit of pressure and he'll change his story.
I didn't kill Alex.
Well, then you better tell us who did, or you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
You're right. He was going to tell the world about what we'd done. God knows what made him decide to confess after all these years. Maybe it was seeing Lynn Harrison again brought it all back to him. But something in him changed. I tried to talk some sense into him and I thought he'd listen. So that could be the reason he was killed. But not by me. I didn't think for a minute he'd destroy his own life like that.
Maybe nothing, but I don't think Carrie told you everything about what happened on the dive boat the day of Eamon's accident.
You know, if Niven's telling the truth, then we're going to have to look at who else had just as much to lose.
Everybody on that board has an alibi for Galbraith's killing, except for Sister Carolyn. Is it possible that she killed Galbraith and then had Eamon silenced?
So who attacked her? Who gave her the postcard? What did Muir want?
He's just told me the kitchen porter on the dive boat said Carrie was talking to someone on the ship's phone on the morning of Eamon's death and that she seemed agitated. She never mentioned any of that when I questioned her.
Okay, have another go at her, and this time put a wee bit of pressure on her. See if you can find a link between her and Sister Carolyn.
Okay. I hate doing a flip.
You always leave something behind.
Mind if we have a chat? I just want to ask you about Lynn Harrison. Maybe you knew her as Sister Carolyn.
Don't know anyone by that name.
You know, Carrie, it's only a matter of time before we find out who paid to have Eamon Gowdy killed. Niven Guthrie and Darren Bedford are both in custody, and one of them is going to talk.
So?
A note similar to the one sent to Eamon was sent to Sister Carolyn, and now she's dead as well. Now that implicates you in both murders.
I didn't have anything to do with that.
Okay. Well, if that's true, can you tell me who you were talking to on the dive boat phone not long before the accident?
Nobody.
Not according to the kitchen porter.
I was told nobody would die. He just wanted to scare him. He told me Eamon could isolate the interior valve before anything serious happened, but he'd get the message.
Who told you?
Niven Guthrie.
Did he say why he wanted to scare him?
No. But I think Eamon might have tried to blackmail him. He said he was coming into money. I just assumed there was a link. I'd never experienced an uncontrolled decompression. I had no idea things would happen so quickly, you have to believe me.
I'm sure his wife and children will take great comfort in that.
Sure, can I call you right back?
I need to speak to you about a young woman called Marianne Ross.
Okay. Come on in.
Did Alex ever talk to you about her? She died of a drug overdose 20-odd years ago.
Should he have?
Alex was there when she died, and he was involved in covering up her death.
What? I don't understand. Why would he do that?
Because he gave her the drugs that killed her. He never confided in you?
About this? No.
He'd been talking to her father. I think he finally felt like he had to make amends. He wasn't there on his own, Eve. Niven and Darren Bedford were both there, along with a young woman now known as Sister Carolyn. She was attacked yesterday, and she died in hospital this morning. So that's two people who were present are now dead. You know, is Merrin here? Because I'm going to have to talk to her.
She went for a walk along the beach.
You know that tide's coming in, it's not going out.
I miss him. Or, well, when it finally sinks in, I'll never see him again.
Well, we're getting very close to finding out who shot him and why.
I'm not sure I want to know.
Would you rather that they just got away with it?
He'd still be dead, won't he?
Is there anything you want to tell me about the morning that your dad died? Something you might have forgotten?
Like what?
Well, maybe just some little thing that didn't seem important at the time.
No.
Okay. Come on, I'll walk you back.
All right, thanks.
Okay, keep looking. We need to know if his alibi holds.
Anything?
No, nothing yet. No. The vans have dash cams.
Right, you. Behave yourself. Cora.
I've examined the remains, and I'm pretty sure it's Marianne.
There's no obvious signs of foul play. It looks like it might tie into the story they told you.
Thanks, Cora.
Nothing found at Niven's yard, and that's the good news.
His alibi holds.
Found dash cam footage from one of his vans to prove it. He can't have been in two places at once. There's something else I need to tell you.
Jimmy, it's your dad. He's been in an accident.
I'm on my way.
He's okay. He's in shock more than anything.
What happened?
Well, from what I can gather, he was walking to Tingwall Airport for a flight to Fair Isle. He was in the middle of the road. The van swerved and he fell and bumped his head.
And is the driver okay?
He's fine. It was a close call, though. It could have been much worse for both of them.
Thanks.
Jimmy. What's going on? What am I doing here?
You were walking to Tingwall to get a flight to Fair Isle.
Oh, aye. To see Mary.
She passed away, Dad.
I know that. I was going to put some flowers on her grave.
Oh. Well, we can do that together when we go and get your stuff.
My stuff?
Well, you should come and live with me permanently. You can't be on your own in Fair Isle, Dad.
Live with you?
Mm-hmm.
Away. You'd drive me up the wall. Your mother and Eric was different. Practically read each other's minds, finishing each other's sentences. We private jokes no one else would get. Maybe knew her footsteps coming up the path, and if she forgot her keys, I knew by the way she knocked it was her. Always the same. 2 knocks, and then 2 more. I miss that.
So, how long do you think I'll get? 15 years. Maybe more.
For unlawful burial?
No, that would be 5 years, give or take. I'm talking about culpable homicide. Eamon Gowdy.
I had absolutely nothing to do with that. Nothing whatsoever to do with that.
Shut up, Nevin. Carrie confessed. So you didn't kill Alex. But you needed to keep Eamon quiet. So who are you protecting? Someone who knew about Marianne.
If I tell you, I'll be an accessory to the murder of Galbraith.
And if you don't, you're obstructing justice.
Right, well, I'll take the lesser of 2 evils then. You'll not be hearing it from me. But I think you already know, don't you?
Tosh, check the crime scene photographs. I want to know what files Galbraith had that morning.
Okay, doke.
Also, did someone check if anyone in the Galbraith family served in World War II and brought a pistol home as a trophy?
Yeah, I think Sandy did. I'll check.
Okay. Hi. Do you mind if I ask you a question? How do you know Sister Carolyn? I saw you speaking with her at the museum just after Eve's speech.
Oh, yes. I thought I'd met her before at Eve's campaign office.
And when would that be?
The morning Mr. Galbraith was killed.
The files he had were all legal documents, apart from one, which was notes from Eve's last campaign meeting.
Okay, Tosh, thanks.
So it says here, Eve's grandfather was in the Argyll and Southern Highlanders during the war, but there's no record that he brought back any firearms as souvenirs.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. It's possible, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's possible.
Don't tell me you forgot your keys.
Who did? Who rings the buzzer like that, Merrin? Your mum does, doesn't she? Merrin, wait. Look, I understand that this is difficult. I do, but you have to talk to me. It was your mother at the door that morning, wasn't it?
No, she was in Lerwick.
But she always buzzes 3 times, right?
She was in Lerwick, you know she
That's
was.
not what I'm asking you. Does she always buzz 3 times? Is that the way that she always does it? impatient, in a hurry.
She wouldn't kill my dad. She just wouldn't.
If you know what happened, you have to tell me.
I don't know what happened. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Where is she?
I can't lose her as well. I can't lose them both.
Merrin, you have to tell me where she is. Please leave a message after the tone and I'll get back to you. Did you get the files you wanted?
What files?
The ones you asked your husband to collect on the morning that he was murdered.
I don't think I asked him to collect anything.
Why would he collect notes on your campaign meeting for himself?
I'm not sure I follow. I was here when Alex was shot. You know that?
Have a look at the CCTV image again. I did. That's Sister Carolyn passing herself off as you, while you were waiting for your husband at home to collect those files.
Who is Sister Carolyn, exactly?
One of the people who covered up the death of Marianne Ross.
Alex's death is linked to the release of Donna Killick. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I know, that's what you hoped everyone would think. But the truth is, there was a group of people who stood to lose everything if Alex confessed to the cover-up. And you were one of them. And so was Sister Carolyn. And you persuaded her the only way to avoid prison was to help you silence him. How did you keep them all in line? Niven, Darren Bedford, and Eamon Gowdy, who got you on his drone.
Are you saying I killed Eamon Gowdy now as well?
No. You got Niven to try and scare him, but that plan didn't work out. And then Sister Carolyn had a change of heart, so she couldn't be trusted. Tell me, did you take care of her yourself, or did you get Niven to do that for you?
Can you prove any of this? Merrin? Merrin, none of what he's saying is true, none of it.
She knows. She's known since day one.
We have Eve in custody. I want your confession to the murder of Lynn Harrison in writing. Now. Don't speak. Write.
Donna Killick sent a letter to her lawyer the day before she died, informing him that in the event of her death, under no circumstances should he accept that she has taken her own life voluntarily. She claims that Duncan Hunter was trying to coerce her into suicide, using the threat of relocation, and when that didn't work, threatened to kill her himself and make it look like suicide. The letter goes on to state that you were aware of the situation and would cover up his crime.
It isn't true.
Which part?
All of it. She's playing you.
Hunter's relationship with her was anything but straightforward. Neither was yours, for that matter. And you did have a sudden change of heart about having her relocated.
Do you believe this?
I'm just saying, if I decide there needs to be an investigation into her death, you'll have some questions to answer.
Still got it. Champion stone skimmer, 3 years in a row.
Christ, he's still going on about that.
Well, you got to take little victories. You collect enough of them. You're a big one.
Before she died, Donna sent a letter to her lawyer saying that in the event of her death, it should be considered murder, and accusing you of being involved in her death and me of covering it up.
Is this a joke?
No.
She could have lived for months, but she'd rather die and see us ruined. She got me to send it. You believe that? I sent the fucking letter.
It was just you and her. It's going to be hard to prove. You can fight it.
And do your reputation much good.
It's not going to do me much good seeing you go to jail either. We can't let her get away with it.
You'd have to lie. And even I know that perverting the course of justice is jail time. You know, and you just arrested some people for doing exactly that.
This is different. You didn't do anything wrong.
Aye. I bet they said the same thing too. I've never been much of a friend, not a father, but I do have some principles. And I'm not going to ruin your career just to save my own skin. Cassie would never forgive me.
Look, just promise me that you're not going to do anything stupid. Just give me a chance to figure it out, okay?
Okay.
Commit the body of Marianne Ross to the ground in sure and certain hope of resurrection to eternal life. Let us pause for a moment of silent reflection.
What are you going to do about Duncan? I know what happened to Jimmy. Donna manipulated him into this, didn't she? I don't think he deserves to be punished. I just wanted you to know that.
Unfortunately, I don't think the law sees it that way.
Sandy. Don't. Not now.
Number
What's that?
Island member of the European Union. Hi.
What are you doing here?
I got a job offer.
In Shetland?
Yeah. At the wine bar.
Really?
Yeah, Duncan said he needed someone to run it for him, so here I am. Dad, it was only a matter of time before I came home. This is where I want to be.
No, it isn't that. When did he call you?
Yesterday, he said it was urgent that I came back and took over.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go.
Duncan, what can I do you for?
I need to report a crime.
And what crime would that be?
Duncan. You don't need to do this.
Yes, I do.
Well, give yourself a chance. We can fight this.
I've had more than enough chances, Jimmy. I'm not dragging you down with me.
What are we talking about here?
I gave Donna Killick an overdose. She asked me to do it. And just for the record, the Perez knew nothing about it.
Duncan Hunter, I'm arresting you under the 1961 Suicide Act. You're not obliged to say anything, but anything you do say will be noted down and may be used in evidence. Do you understand?
I just heard about Duncan. Did they know?
Not yet.
Do you want to go for that drink later? You look like you might need it.
Maybe next time.
I'm going to hold you to that.
I hope you do.
This is Detective Superintendent Sanderson from Aberdeen. I spoke to Cora, and given how weak Donna was and the contents of her letter, I had no choice but to ask for a full investigation. Something happened in that house between Duncan Hunter and Donna Killick, and I think you know what that was.
T.I. Paris, I am arresting you under Section 1 of the Criminal Justice Act 2016, as I suspect you may have been involved in the unlawful death of Donna Killick. You're not obliged to say anything. But anything you do say will be noted and may be used in evidence. Do you understand?